Fingers crossed.
Okay, I think it's recording now.
Okay, hello. Welcome everyone for another Toonkind at 12 FPS. I'm Vamp and today I shall be playing Mersel, whose normal day is going to soon turn very not normal. And
Mm-hmm.
I am joined today by my lovely friend, Marzi. Marzi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Marzi, and today I'll be playing Mariz. Yes, that's confusing. Yes, that's on purpose.
Unbelievable. And I think we start today in the and quite familiar at this point if you've listened to any Toonkind indie game, in the lovely like Dodo Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, Maurice, what are you doing here?
I mean, considering that Mariz knows the security guard and is technically cousins with one of the actors, I think they can get in pretty easily. Those are stories for another day, but they're in the studio.
Yeah, you are in the studio, and what are you going to do now that you're in the studio?
They are gonna just walk around. You would think a little teenager would be absolutely starstruck and so excited to be in a really famous studio. They look kind of bored.
You you look why don't you roll perception?
Oh, okay, okay. Oh god, they're oh no, actually their perception's pretty okay. So it's a D20 plus 2. Ah, that is a 7.
Hmm. Yeah, you look around, but you're so disinterested. Your like eyes slide off everything.
Yeah.
Like, but God, I can't give you anything with a seven. So like, you just like flit about, like you just loiter. You just have such an air of like disinterest that like a few owls and penguins that pass by your direct radius just like deflate on impact.
Man, teenagers are the meanest people, unfortunately.
They are the meanest people. But us are you just going to stand there and look bored at everything, Marius?
Probably. Like maybe like lean against some walls, look disinterested at anyone who passed, move spots, still look disinterested.
Okay, I will say now that you've moved spots, roll another perception.
D20 plus 2. Come on, Mariz. That's a
With
9.
advantage. With advantage.
With advantage? Alright. D20 plus. Oh, I almost did that wrong. Gosh, hit the right key. Okay.
With a nine. With a nine, Marius, you're in the middle of going to going to move spots again to lean against a new patch of wall, and you actually trip. You fucking like trip over like this box of like light bulbs that's just like at the edge of the path. Like, you
Woof.
know, it's set against the wall, so people walking through the halls wouldn't trip on it. But considering you're like leaning against the wall and walking like right next to the wall, you do trip on it.
Was so occupied with looking bored and disinterested did not notice box.
Yeah. And you trip over the box and you like careen and you kind of like you know that Tunish gag where you slide and you keep sliding until you like crater in the next wall.
God, yeah. Which
And
and
and honest
you can tell they have wings, but with a -1 mod in both intelligence and wisdom, they do not think to use them.
yeah. And there is like a beat of silence before you kind of hear like the clicking of like heeled footsteps like walk towards you, and you just hear someone go, "Oh, hey, are you okay?"
Uh Mariz sits up from the heap that they have tumbled themselves into and like their one eye is closed as they're kind of rubbing their head and they're just like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I think. I think."
Are you sure? I could bring you to the infirmary. Um, our local healer can look you over just to make sure.
And Mariz opens their one eye.
And where is you? You open your one eye, and then you look up, and you look up, and you keep looking up, cause holy shit, this person's tall. And you meet and you see Mersel, and I actually don't know if Maris knows what Mersel looks like.
Oh
Because I
god.
don't think his picture would have been shown in the
No, it
credits.
was
Like,
just his
his name.
name, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you would have no idea who this is. Just that it's an extremely tall Ghiblian who's looking down at you with a like kind of worry.
Mariz just disinterested. It's like, no, Oh, if you take me though, my cousin might find me.
Your cousin?
Yeah. I don't know, he's famous or something. Tobias?
The minute you say Tobias's name, like the Ghiblian's face in front of you changes. Like he actually goes a little pink and his hair fluffs up and he's just like, oh, Tobias has a. Oh, okay. I didn't know Toby had a cousin.
Yeah, that was a pretty recent development. I didn't know I had cousins either. Do you know Well, I guess you would. He is kind of famous. He's kind of a dweeb though. Vamp has died. Shit. Love you, Louis. Just somewhere in the studio while Toby's looking for Mariz. Yeah. I'm recording right now. That's why I told Ray Ray he has to go do it. I'm recording. I love Wimps the fucketh. Well, I don't know how to edit videos, so this will all be in there. So how's your guys' day, huh? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, thank you. I hope you're doing well. You sure are, and I love you. Yeah, recap. I mean, we can just chit chat. Impromptu start of FPS break. Hi, that'd be me. If you look in the roll zone, we have our title card. You are Petals, and I appreciate you. If you're wondering who the admirer is, this is them. Their name is Mariz. They are the president of the Mersel fan club.
Sorry I disappeared. My brother-in-law came in.
You're good.
But yeah, I disappeared in the middle of you saying that, it disappeared in the middle of your response to Marcel going, oh, I didn't know Toby had a cousin.
Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah, Mariz is just, yeah, that was a weird recent development. You know him? Well, yeah, you know him. He's kind of famous. He's kind of a dweeb, though.
He's the cutest weeb, and like Marcel has like little like hearts floating around him.
Mariz kind of squints at him. Like, oh, gross.
And Marcel kind of coughs a little sheepishly into one fist. Going, well, do you want me to try and find him then?
No, that's the opposite of what I want. I'm looking for someone else.
Oh, do you know who you're looking for?
Yes. It is one, Mr. Von Vixen. I know he works here.
I'm gonna make a really quick roll. Da-da-dee, da-da-da, da-da-dee, da-da-da. Oh, you know what? I'm making it at disadvantage. Funny rule. God damn it! I was so hoping he would roll low. Oh, like, but I will say, like, even with that, like, when you say Mr. Von Vixen, like, Marcel's immediate first reaction was, do you mean Miss Von Vixen?
Maris
Miss
kind of
V?
Maris kind of squints like, no, I don't know who that is. I'm looking for Mersel Arlo Von Vixen.
And Marcel just kind of looks at Marius and just,
He's gonna have to
like,
look real down because they are only 3'6".
yeah, it's okay, he's used to that. And his mind kind of crashes like a shoddy Microsoft Word program. Uh,
Yeah, Maris is just standing there, hands on waist, like, yeah, I'm looking for Marcel Arlo Von Vixen.
why are you looking for him?
And Marcel, please make a perception check.
Okay.
That is absolutely enough. You notice finally that this child is wearing a t-shirt that blatantly says Marcel Fan Club President.
It's just his brain just crashes again, and he's just like staring down at Mariz.
Maris is just, yeah, I think he's really cool, and I didn't know this place even had a chef, and he's the only one, and I saw his name in the credits of Star Cause.
In the credits, and and he's he's kind of like he's put his head in his hands.
Maris does not notice. Maris is in info dump mode, and they are so excited to talk about their idol.
He's just head in hands, but he's not making it stop. He's just like internally dying inside, and it's also just like, oh my fucking stars! I didn't think anyone read the credits. Like, who waits to see the credits?
Someone who has nerdy siblings who are like, oh man, I wonder if they have after credit scenes. And you have nothing to do besides idly read the credits.
Fair enough, fair enough.
But yeah, Maris is just, oh man, but they only had his full name on there, so I have no idea what he looks like.
Yeah, I asked for that.
You asked for that?
Hey, Mariz, why did you make an intelligence roll?
Oh, that, Why would you do that to them?
I like causing chaos and havoc and mischief.
12.
I'd say with a 12, like, something's niggling at the back of your head, but you don't quite get it yet.
Yeah, Maris is just squinting up at him like, what?
Yeah, I asked for my picture not to be shown.
You... Should I make another? Come on, Maris, this is your idol.
Please, below 10.
Oh my
Yes.
god! Oh my god! Please, this child's so stupid.
Yes. Mariz just pointing accusatorily at Marcel, like, you, so you're the reason I couldn't find him.
Yeah, just pointing at him, like, kind of squinting up at him, like, oh man, that's so lame.
Lame?
I have to go find him. I've just been seeing penguins and owls and people I don't know.
Hey, actually, is it alright for you to be here without supervision?
Oh, well, about that.
Do we just cut to Tobias in the middle of the studio, just like looking up from his crib with the most dead inside expression, going, where the fuck is this dead child?
Yes? I wonder though, Mariz hears that and is already like looking ready to bolt.
Hey, don't, wait, Marcel wants to say I'm Marcel, but like it kind of like fucking sticks in his throat because holy, cause, ugh, what? He doesn't know how to deal with this. And he's just like, I'll take you to the kitchen.
That does get Maris to pause.
If
And
you if you promise that you'll go back to whoever was escorting you around the studio before after I could take you to the kitchen.
mm, uh oh, give me, oh man. Okay, first I need to roll a d2 to pick which one I'm gonna do. Alright. That is a performance, so give me one moment. That's a 30.
Yeah, was
So,
that deception?
there was a performance, so, this child can act, and they go from looking ready to bolt to looking kind of sad and sheepish, and they're just, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to find my cousin. The studio is such a big place.
Oh, I'll be able to help you, promise.
Just stares up at him with their one big sad eye, like, you really promise?
Yeah, I do. What's your name?
My name is Mariz.
It's nice to meet you, Maris.
It's
And
nice.
he kind of sticks a hand out for Maris to shake.
You see them kind of perk up like a light bulb has gone off. And they look a little jokingly sly as they're like, as they reach for your hand, and they're just like, it's nice to meet you too, may I have your name?
And I'm gonna roll D2. I'm gonna roll D2. Yes, good. Like automatically, Marcel just goes, "Oh yeah, my name's Marcel."
Well, one, Marcel just gave his name to a fairy, so good job.
He didn't give his full name in fairness.
You did not. But yeah, I mean, Mariz is gonna like stutter to a stop as they're reaching for his hand, and look up at him, and slowly lower their hand.
Mariz?
You. I almost shook your hand. It's you.
Yeah, you almost shook my hand. Like, here's the thing. Marcel knows Phalar, like, gestures at his +8 Arcana. It's more like, considering the variety tunes come in, like, it can be hard to discern, you know, hey, is this an actual, like, magical fade I should be careful around? Or, like, is this just a tune style after, like, fairies? So, like, normally just to be on like normally he's just polite, like it's like it'd be rude to like be wary around any like fey looking.
I mean, out of character, luckily, whenever Maris does that, it's never serious. They are fey, but whenever they do that, it's never serious. They're not actually gonna do anything. They just think it's funny.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Maris is freaking out because, oh god, it's you! You're Marcel!
You're Marcel. And they almost did whatever they almost did to Marcel.
I mean, that wasn't actually gonna do anything. He would have been able to feel any magic if they did shake hands, but there was gonna be none. Maris just likes making fun of people.
It's just like, yeah, hi, I didn't know Toby had a cousin. It's really nice to meet you.
Maris is like vibrating.
Marius?
Oh my god, it's really you.
Yeah, it's me. And he's like, and now that you're actually looking, I'm not making you roll perception because your perception has been shit. you'd been so caught up in looking cool and indifferent and everything, you kind of missed the fact that now that you're looking at it, a lot of the owls and penguins do have like food in their hands, and Marcel had just been walking back from one of like the meal, like one of the tables. It looks like you had like come in like right around smack dab in the middle of like lunchtime, and it's now like nearing its end.
Mariz is gonna do a quick glance around and sees this and like stares back up at Mersel and then starts fumbling for their hammer space, and that's a D10.
God. Okay, yeah, that's a D10.
Yep, they pull out a like bright glittery golden marker and a star class lunchbox. And they're shoving them up at Mersel like, "Can you sign these please?"
Oh, yes, sure. Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want an autograph from like Toby or Prem or?
No! No, 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 I want your autograph! You're Marcel Arlo Von Vixen!
Uh, I don't.
Can you sign my shirt too?
Okay, sure. He's still so confused. He's doing his best. I'm gonna hammer space roll to see if he gets pulls out like an ink like a pen, and then he like kind of like automatically like signs his name on the lunchbox and the shirt, and
Yes.
inwardly he's still dying inside, like what the hell, what the fuck is happening?
Mariz is like, it's almost hard to sign it because Mariz is vibrating. They're so excited. Like, God,
And
they have a 180 from from when they first got here and looked super bored.
well, you still haven't told me why you wanted my autograph though.
You're the only chef here. You're a famous professional chef.
I wouldn't call myself famous, and he's not. Like, he's not.
In the eyes of this child, you are pretty famous.
He's just like, I wouldn't call myself famous. I think that'd be better suited for Toby and Premi.
When Marcel says Toby's name again, Maris is kind of. He's such a dweeb, though.
Hey, he's a cute dweeb, and like there are like little hearts like appearing around his head again. And oh right, Marcel is dating your cousin.
Gross. That's not gonna stop them though. They're gonna wave that fact away, and they're just gonna happily be like, "I'm gonna be a professional chef just like you, and that's why I wanted your autograph."
Okay, oh, all right. He's just like, what is this supposed to do? Tell Maris that they can't admire him. He's stuck. He's just like, wait, did so you came to the studio to see me?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't couldn't you just have asked Toby to take you to the kitchen?
Looks at Maris's -1 in intelligence and wisdom. Looks away. Maris is just. He would have made it so boring though. I wanted to find you on my own.
I mean, he bites his tongue before he says that she didn't actually manage to find him, though it was the other way around.
They're not gonna pay attention to that fact.
Yeah, and he's just like, well, you found me, and I signed your lunchbox and shirt. Does Toby know you're missing?
Maris kind of innocently looks around and is like, I mean, considering I've been walking for 20 minutes.
All right, hold on. I'll at least tell him you're with me so he doesn't think that you got kidnapped or something.
Maris is loudly whining about that. They don't need a babysitter, thank you.
I know you don't need a babysitter, but I don't want Toby to worry. Like that's the thing though. It's less about like, hey, he thinks like Mariz is like vulnerable or whatever, and more like, hey, Toby's going to worry. And I just like and he actually takes out his tome from being a warlock of the tome. He does have his own book of shadows, like
Mm.
it materializes on top of his hands, like in like wisps of dark blue and gold.
Oh,
And he just kind of
Maris is definitely staring a little wide-eyed because that's really cool, actually.
yeah, he's a spellcaster, and he kind of like pages through it. He kind of like leaves through it until he gets to an empty page. And do you know the warlock? Do you know the warlock invocation called? I think it was called scribes, like far scribe. Yeah, far scribe.
I do not. I only ever paid attention to aspect of the moon.
Okay, so the warlock invocation far scribe is like actually a very neat invocation. Basically, hold on. Basically, the far scribe invocation is I'm gonna just grab a reference directly from the internet, so you don't have to listen to me attempt to recite it from memory.
You're valid and I love you.
Okay, so far scribe invocation is it far scribe basically allows Mersel to use his action to write a name on the page.
Mm.
And here I'm gonna like send the thing here.
Oh.
He he has three names written on it right now because he has a +3 proficiency bonus. The three names are Jack and Toby and Prim. So like whereas you just kind of like see him right in the like page, and if you try and look at like the page, it's just like Toby, your cousin is with me.
They would try to peek, but Marcella's really tall.
Yeah, Marcel's really tall. They could
Oh
try
wait,
and
they can
climb.
fly. They can fly up.
Yeah.
While Marcella's writing that message, he hears a faint buzzing as Maris's wings go, and they float a little up to peek.
Yeah, and you also see like the darkened ink like start appearing like under the lines that Marcel wrote, and it's just like in Toby's handwriting, and it's just the words I should have expected this.
Maris is preening a little at that.
Marcel kind of notices and writes, "They look very proud." I'll be taking them to the kitchen if you don't mind, Toby. And the words disappear like under like I think it's kind of like black red, and it's just like yeah, no shit, I'll be right there.
That gets Maris to deflate a little.
And Marcel just kind of looking at Maris and then just like, hey, I mean, we're going to the kitchen. I'm sure we can do something while waiting for Toby to come back.
Oh man, that God, they're flipping back and forth between emotions so much during this FPS. They perk up so fast, and like their wings go about a mile a minute. They're just like, yes. Oh my gosh, we can do a lot of things. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cook with Marcel Arlo Von Vixen.
Yeah, you are. And like inwardly he's like, please stop using my full name every single time. But yeah, he kind of like leads the way back to the studio kitchen, and Marius wanna make a roll to see how well you stick close to him and not get like fucking lost, because there are a lot of people and a lot of hubbub here.
Can I argue advantage because they did not stop flying?
Yeah, I'll let you have advantage.
What would I roll?
I think you can roll either a survival or like a perception.
I'll go perception because they actually have a mod in perception.
Yeah.
And make that advantage. Hope I did that right. That is a
You did.
15.
Yeah, 15. Once or twice you almost got kind of like swept away with the crowd, but thankfully you are like flying, so you kind of figure out real quick that unless you want to hold Marcel's hand, which would admittedly be really cool,
That'd be
you'd
really
have to
cute.
like that you'd have you it's easier to just like fly.
Yeah. I mean, the closest they'd ever get during this first meeting is like kind of like nervously clutching the back of his coat.
God, Mariz is still starstruck.
Yeah.
Wonder how they'd feel once they realize Marcel's a dork.
I mean, they realized that about their cousin real quick, so.
Yeah. And eventually you do get to the kitchen, and just for the laughs, I'd say you actually did pass by it when you were like walking, like
Oh
looking
my god!
cool. But you completely missed like the tag that said kitchen in like big bold letters
Because they
because
were
you were,
so focused on looking cool and bored.
yeah.
God. They
And
do.
Marcel kind
Sorry. They do let out
of,
kind of a like an upset huff when they see the sign, but it doesn't matter. They found Marcel. They're in the kitchen. Mission accomplished.
yeah, Marcel takes a key from fishes a key from like one of his the inner pockets of his coat and like it gets to unlocking the door. And yeah, he does lock the door. Not that it would do much against like people who probably can and will break it down if it's like if they're determined enough, but he does lock the door.
Oh my, Maris notices that and kind of squints like, you lock the kitchen when you leave?
Have you met anyone else in the studio aside from Toby?
Nope.
Oh, okay, you'll learn. You'll figure it out.
They'll kind of
And he's just
go ahead.
and all he says.
Maris kind of squints at him as they try to puzzle through that, but whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, and Marcel kind of like opens the door with a click, and the door swings inwards, and you are in the studio kitchen. It's pretty spacious and like, well, it's pretty spacious, and it has a lot of like cooking equipment, which makes sense because Cell has to make food for a lot of people. And it is mostly like there are a lot of dishes in the sink.
Mm,
And it is like right now, there isn't anything cooking right now because he did finish up and like serve most of his food already.
understandable. Maris, if they were grabbing onto their coat, I don't know if we made that a thing.
Yeah, I mean, we can.
We can. They let go of the coat, and God, they are so like starry-eyed. A professional kitchen.
Marcel's in pain. Marcel's dying inside. Why?
Why?
Why? He's just standing here. Why the fuck? Engineer's there. He's
Mar-
gonna chase down engineer and give him a shake after this. 'Cause what the hell?
Maris has no idea Marcel is having this horrible inner turmoil. They're just buzzing around the kitchen. They're so excited and happy, and they're
Yeah.
having the time of their life.
Hey, Mariz, wanna roll a perception?
Uh oh.
It's
D20
fine.
plus.
Everything's fine.
That's a 5.
Okay, Mariz, you don't notice it when the oven door like kind of like opens. You do hear like kind of skittering.
Oh? That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, you do hear kind of like skittering, like you do hear kind of skittering and like a thump on the floor.
Oh, that's incredibly spooky and exactly the thing that Maris is scared of. They're gonna zip right back to Marcel.
Oh, what's wrong? Marcel is kind of rolled up his sleeves and taken off his gloves and looks to be like prepared to get started washing the dishes.
So Marcel may notice. I'm not gonna like make you roll anything for this, but when Maris is holding on to his coat just so for the walk to the kitchen, it was just like a light, kind of nervous grab. But now they're kind of clinging to him because that noise is the exact thing that they are afraid of, and not being able to see the source is their biggest fear.
Hey, it's okay. Come, hey. And he kind of like crouches down to be eye level with Mariz and kind of like holding them warmly and just gives this most reassuring smile. Hey, what happened?
Theirs is kind of shaking, too spooked to realize that their idol is doing this, but they're just kind of like nervously glancing around the kitchen, like there was a noise, and a weird skittering, and something opened, and I couldn't see it.
Oh, a weird scaring, huh? And then the gears are turning in Sal's head before he goes, "Oh, okay." And he kind of like picks Mariz up
Oh my god.
and then picks Mariz up and goes, "Are you by any chance scared of spiders?"
That gets them to relax. Because no, they are not.
Okay, that's good. And Rizal actually puts his fingers in his mouth and whistles. Like, I can't whistle.
You're
I'm
so
sorry.
valid.
Whistle. It's something I've never been able to learn, along with snapping my fingers. But yeah, he whistles, and you hear like this skittering noise again, and this time you see you see you see a pan like walk out of the
Oh my god.
see a pan walk out in the oven, and when I say pan, I mean spider pan.
Spider Pan, my beloved.
I don't know if you know about spider pan.
I know vaguely about Spider Pan.
For all the new listeners, so spider pan is like a robot like pan that Merzel's like good friend Splenda, good friend slash sister, like at this point, Splenda gave him, and well, yeah, it was rough at first because Merzel is scared of bugs, and
Oh.
but he has since like warmed up to them, and here is what Spider Pan looks like.
As emoji. Yes, that's really cute. Mariz relaxes completely. They thought the kitchen was haunted, but this is way cooler and a lot less scary.
Yeah, hold on, I have another like better reference of them. They no longer have that name this name tag, but they still have the ribbon on them.
That's really cute.
And Spider-Man does a little like happy skitter, and you realize that the thumping noise that you heard was their handle like thumping against the floor because it's wagging.
Oh my god. Mariz is so fucking starry-eyed. They want down and they want down now.
Marcel's just like, oh, okay, and he puts Mariz down.
Mariz is gonna kind of inch towards Spider-Pan and reach out a hand.
Spider-Pan does that thing, like, you know that thing when dogs want to play where they're like
Yeah.
normally like bend down their upper, like their back half like bends up, and
Yes.
like that's like what Spider-Pan is doing right now.
Oh god, that's really cute. Mariz is excited again. This place isn't haunted. This thing is really fucking cool and really cute. And then starts jumping around.
And the Spider-Man starts like jumping around too, and it makes a little like clunk 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 noise as it jumps because it's a cast iron pan.
Give me 1 second, I'm so sorry. What?
Oh, I have that picture, Lewis.
Number 2. Yeah, I'm recording, man. Oh, I don't have my phone, it's on my bed. But yeah, it's number 2.
So I feel like Toby has met Spider-Man though, just off screen. I'm pretty sure that we did AC that thing, but with Toby and Marcel like sending in Primrose Primrose little gifts and sweets through Spider-Man.
I come back to hear the sappiest shit. That's really cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Mersel is just witnessing this small child dance around with Spider-Man.
and he just like gives a snort. Like he gives like an amused snort before he goes back to washing most of the dishes. It is like help with prestidigitation here, but he
Mm.
also prefers like manually washing it.
God, that's so valid of him.
Yeah, cause like prestidigitation like makes everything clean, but also like it's like nothing beats actually having a bath for example.
God, this if this was not a professional kitchen, this shit feels so domestic. Just in the background, Maris is like if they're not hopping around the ground, they're kind of fluttering up into the air, just like buzzing around Spider-Man and just playing together. Oh my god.
Yeah, and after Marcel finishes washing the dishes, he kind of like looks up at Mariz, and like he kind of looks at where Mariz and I'm assuming Spider Pan are basically like playing, and Spider Pan is like on its belly, and like handles thumping against the floor, and
Oh
like
my
it's
god.
just making cute like chirpy noises as like Mariz rubs its belly.
Mariz is making Mariz makes happy noises right back because when Mariz is happy, they make little cooing noises. They're just
Yeah, and Marcel's just like, so you like him?
that breaks them out of it a little because this is a little embarrassing.
If it
They
makes Marcellus feel better, Marcel doesn't seem judgmental at all.
they oh god, the one thing I forgot to fucking do was pull up their colored chart. Shit, I'm a fool. They go. I forgot their color changing tune, but they sure are. They went from like almost bright green to like straight to sort of purple as they go from very content and happy with what is happening to kind of shy.
And Marcel notices that and it's just like, well, his name's, and he rattles off a kind of long name that he's actually reading from the birth certificate on the wall. Because fun fact, Spider Pan has like is a pedigree Spider Pan.
Oh my
He has
god!
a whole he has a whole birth certificate. When Maris will notice is like actually hung on a frame like on one of the kitchen walls. And the name is extremely long, so even I don't have it memorized, but I'm pretty sure the first name is Rufus. Rufus?
That's amazing. Maris looks up at it. It looks like they're reading it. They give a little nod. And they pat Spider Pan like, ah, yes, my new friend Spider Pan.
Yeah. Cider Pan's handle like wags again, and like it, and then it kind of you know that thing where dogs will sit on their lap.
Yes.
It goes to like sit on your lap, but hey, Mariz, want to make a strength save?
Oh god. Strength save, you say? Okay. Uh oh. That's a 6.
Okay, do you remember when I mentioned this was a cast iron pan?
Ooh, and they are a small UPAN.
Yeah. Like this is the equivalent of a German Shepherd going over, or an Alaskan Malamute, or a Great Dane going over and deciding to sit in your lap.
Oh my god. This is like if a Great Dane sat on a baby.
Yeah, basically. And Russell's just like you hear a sharp intake of breath before he's like, "Oh, okay, Spider Pan, come on," and he kind of like
I
gently.
think with that 6, when Spider Man tried to sit in Maris' lap, they went kind of flat because they are a UPAN.
Yeah. And so just kind of like gently ushered them away out of like Maris' lap, and it's just like, "I'm sorry, he's really heavy. He's really heavy. He sounds like he's speaking from experience."
Maris actually has turned, you know what? I'm not good at describing colors, so I'm gonna screenshot it.
That's
Maris,
so bad.
Maris is actually this color. Because that was really fun, even if they got kind of squished.
And it's all just like, all right, Spider-Man, you had your fun. Come on, back in the oven you go. And they give like kind of like a little like happy wiggle as Mersel pets them before they drop back to like the oven and like kind of like folds their legs underneath them. And Mersel like closes the oven and just kind of like preheats it.
Oh god.
No, it's fine. Like you hear like a happy, like satisfied noise from inside, and like for Spider-Man presumably curls up to go to sleep. Like this is basically the equivalent of a dog falling asleep next to the fire.
Mariz has like pressed himself up against the oven because holy shit, that's so cool and really cute.
And Marcel's kind of looking at the clock and looking at the kitchen door and going, "Well, Toby should be here soon." Cut to whatever reason it is that Toby isn't here yet, probably involving, I don't know, like an
Yep.
impromptu disco party in the middle of the halls.
we we all know Toby is really bad at escaping those.
Yeah, we all know Toby's really bad at escaping those. Our Jack decided to pull a prank. But cut back to the kitchen and Marcel's just like, well, if we're waiting for Toby, would you like to make some? And he kind of looks at the ingredients he has in his pantry and he pauses and taps his chin for a moment before going cotton candy.
That oh man, the blue that they wear, that happy blue, turns a little more to a sky blue, and they're like, "Oh, fairy floss."
Oh yeah, fairy floss. And he kind of like he nods. He knows that's another name for cotton candy.
Mariz is once again vibrating.
All right. It'll take about 45 minutes, and I'm sure we can finish up before Toby's here. Would you like to help me?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. First, we've got to and he starts like tidying up his workstation. Could you grab me some of the ingredients? I think we'll need, and he starts listing sugar, corn syrup, water, salt, raspberry, lemon, almond, vanilla, food coloring, cooking spray, candy thermometer, parchment paper, and I'm just gonna paste it here.
Mariz has landed on the floor, and they look so serious. They're gonna get to cook with their idol.
Yeah. And Smur is writing these down.
Oh my god, yeah. Let me make a quick hammer space roll so I can pull out a little notepad. Yep, they're scribbling this down on a little notepad they have.
Yeah, and Marcel's just like, the ingredients are there on the right in that little cupboard. Do you see it? Right over the counter.
Mariz gives a small salute. Mersel now has a sous chef.
And Mariz, do you want to roll perception to see if you can perception or investigation to see if you can find
which one
everything?
is higher? I'll do perception because it's still the higher one. Ooh, that's an 8. Their rolls are so shit today.
Whereas it's like that, like, oh my god, I'm like cooking with my idol, like you're so nervous, you kind of like, you can't seem to find what he asks you to find, and then you get even more nervous.
Oh yeah, they want to look cool. They want to look cool in front of their idol, but they're so nervous.
Yeah. And Marcel kind of like pauses from where he's finished like preparing the workstation, and laying down some plastic wrap, and he's just like, Mariz, are you alright?
Uh, they just loudly chirp it. Yes. Do you want to make an insight?
Yeah, sure.
All you know is that they have turned purple again, but like a different purple.
Yeah, and Mariz is, and I'm gonna make a history just to, because I know Mariz has turned purple before. Okay, that's a 13.
Well, you know that that other purple was them feeling kind of shy, but this purple is definitely not that.
Yeah, and Sal has no idea what that means, so he's just gonna go, here, let me help you bring it over. And he walks over and um he's gonna roll investigation with advantage because this is his own fucking kitchen. Oh
Oh
my
no!
god.
Oh my
I have
god!
a luck point.
Oh my god!
My scores are with nine and three only. I think like what happens is he goes and tries to look for it, but Mariz is like, no, I can do this myself, and kind of like blocks his view.
Yes, absolutely. They're
And
holding their
he's just
notepad like in his face, like, no, I can do it, I can do it.
oh, okay, all right. I think and he starts like he gives you a help action basically. So make the investigation again at advantage.
Investigation or perception?
Perception's fine as well.
Okay, at advantage. To
Okay,
12.
it takes you a bit, but you finally do find like everything on the list.
They are so proud of themselves.
Yeah, Mersel like's just like, yeah, that's everything, and he helps you bring them back to the workstation. And Cell kind of like crouches down and opens one of the cupboards, and he takes out a big pot.
Ooh.
And now, if only the recipe that I'm using would pecking load,
God, I believe in
because
you.
I accidentally clicked the refresh button and now it's not loading.
Mariz is just happily buzzing around.
Yeah. We'll say that Saul probably looks at Mariz and goes, "Oh, hold on," and he will actually walk over to a somewhat dusty, like it's not as like it's not used as often as all the other cupboards. And he
Oh?
opens it, and he kind of like, and you see his like head like poke inside, like the upper half of his body disappear inside as he like looks through it. Before he takes out like an apron.
Don't want to get that Marcel fan club president shirt dirty.
Yeah, he's just like, cause like Ursula doesn't use an apron, but also like he has been doing this for a while.
That is true. Mariz is but a child.
Yeah, so he's like, hey, Maria's here. Here's an apron.
Ah, yes, Mariz will happily take that. They almost forgot they were wearing their Marcel fan club president shirt, and they know their older brother would be kind of sad if it got dirty.
Yeah, this one seems to actually be like sized for a child. Cause yeah, he's had people like visit the kitchen, attempting cook gestures at birthday anniversary gestures.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it looks kind of like this. One he specifically grabbed looks kind of like this.
Eyes emoji? Oh my god!
There's no name like at the top, but otherwise yeah, it looks exactly like this. It's like, can you put it on yourself, or would you like help?
Mary's kind of pouts a little because, well, they do like it, but also this is not the kind of cool thing you want to wear in front of your idol.
I'm gonna roll an insight to see if like Marcel notices. 14. I think he notices, and he's just like, there are more aprons back in the pack if you'd like to choose.
Mary's is really conflicted. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna roll a d2 real quick. One is they'll wear that apron, two is they'll ask for another one. I imagine Marcel kind of holds it out and like kind of starts to pull it back in as he's like, I mean, I can get you another one, but Mary snatches it up like, no.
Are you sure? I mean, there are ones with less patterns if you like.
God, Mary's wants to be really cool, but this apron is really cute and they do really like it. So they'll shake their head like, no, I want this one.
Okay, and he gives a smile. All right, and he sets down the pot like in the pot on the counter, and he and then he takes that pot and he moves it over to the stove, like the stove,
Mm.
and he goes, could you? All right, so first we have to mix the sugar, corn syrup, water, and salt.
We need a bowl, right?
No, we can mix it directly in the pot.
Oh. As Mariz is getting done tying this apron around their waist.
Yeah. Sal's just like laying out the ingredients necessary beside the pot and goes, would you like to try?
Mariz is so excited. They're buzzing again. Like, yes, I want to do it.
I'm not gonna make you roll anything. You take the sugar, corn syrup, water, and salt, and you pour it into the pot as instructed, as instructed. You don't put in too much of any of them, and Marcel sets the stove to medium high heat. Goes, now we have to stir this over the heat until all the sugar is melted. That thermometer, and he grabs the candy thermometer, is here to make sure that the mixture has reached 320 degrees before we turn the heat off and transfer it to a bowl.
Mariz looks so serious as they're taking in this information. Like this is a life or death situation.
This sauce is like, would you like to stir, or would you like to keep watch on the thermometer?
Oh god, Mariz wants to impress Marcel. Mariz wants to stir it.
All right, just be careful. Stirring can tire your arm out after a while. And he hands her over like the stirrer,
They're
and he pokes the thermometer into the mixture.
they're gonna put all of their focus into this.
I will say make a con save.
Ooh, a con save.
No, not a con save. Make a con roll, like
Ooh.
Constitution straight
Okay,
roll.
let's see. D20 plus 1. That is a 12.
Okay, as he warned you, you do get tired, like as you're stirring on.
Yeah,
This-
and considering they have little, like, UPA and stick arms.
Yeah, you could do get tired, but you soldier on, and then eventually Marcel's just like, oh, okay, that's all the sugar's melted and it's at the right temperature. You can stop now, as he turns off the stove, and you just like sag.
Yeah, Mariz doesn't want him to see, but they do kind of, like, sag a little, like, oh gosh, my hands, my arms.
Yeah, Marcel's just like, all right, and he pulls on like some mittens and like grabs like the sides of the pot and carefully transfers the sugar mixture into a large heat safe bowl. And he is not making Mariz do this one for very obvious reasons. And he's just like explaining that this will keep the sugar from continuing to cook and burn, and sticking to the bottom of the pan and making it really hard to wash.
Mariz looks very thoughtful, but, like, they do have experience with this, and no, I will not elaborate on that heart emoji.
Yeah, and Marcel's just like, hey Mariz, can you quickly grab that whisk?
Yep, and off they buzz to go and grab it.
Yeah. And when you come back, Marcel has actually separated the mixture into two bowls.
Ooh.
And he takes one whisk, but he leaves you the other, and he goes, here, do this, and he dips the tines of his whisk into the mixture, and it quickly drizzles the thinning sugar strands back and forth across the parchment paper until he has made like a kind of like a little, like he's starting to make a nest of candy strands.
Ooh. God, that is really cool actually, and Mariz is really starry-eyed as they try very hard to mimic Marcel.
I'm gonna roll like a dexterity. I'm not. I was gonna say with advantage but like I don't think he needs it. He rolled a 22.
Oof. Should I roll a dex?
Yeah, sure.
Just a straight dex or a save?
Wait, that's.
Alright, straight dex. Boop, boop a doop. That's an 18!
Yeah, what? I mean, he's literally doing it right in front of you.
Yes.
So you follow his movement and you both make like a sizable nest of candy strands.
Oh man, Mariz is so excited for a different reason now. They love making messes.
Yeah. And then Cell kind of stops and goes, alright, it'll start to thicken after about 10 minutes, but it will be, like, even if it does, we can microwave it to return it to the right consistency or not. And he reaches, and he, like, looks through his cupboards again. Okay, that's a 30-20. He doesn't take, it doesn't take long for him to find, some, like, you know, those sharp, like, sticks that cotton candy are usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he takes two, and he spins he starts spinning the candy strands around the sticks. I'm gonna make another deck save with advantage. Holy shit, dice parser, I'm using a luck point. Dice parser.
Do you want to use one of my luck points?
I mean, I still have one more luck
Okay.
point, so
Good God.
let's say that upon makes it like it's like a little like wobbly start because he's actually not that experienced with making candy. That's not his party. That's Lucas. But he gets like his feet under him and he makes a pretty decent like cotton candy. And he kind of like gives like Mariz like the other stick going, why don't you try?
Oh man. Okay. Mariz is a. Oh God, what color are they? They're lighter, almost closer to magenta purple now. But they will take the stick and they will do their best, and that's a dex, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's in that one.
Do you want to use your luck point?
I'm gonna use a luck point. Oh man. Oh no. Okay.
Dice parser when bad rolls and bad rolls only.
13.
Yeah, initially you did pretty bad, but like as you continue doing it with all your little determination, like you get a hang of it, and you also end up with a cotton candy that looks basically the same as cells, like not the best looking, but also like it is cotton candy, like it's identifiable with cotton candy, and it still smells really good.
They're back to their happy blue.
And he's just like, well, we've made cotton candy, and he tears off a clump from his own and pops it into his mouth.
Mariz is kind of admiring it now. It's like, I made cotton candy. I made cotton candy with Mersel, Arlo Von Vixen.
You can just call me Mersel, you know.
Oh man, starry-eyed from the cotton candy to Mersel. Is they're quietly like, is that really okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
God, they're so fucking excited.
Inwardly, Mercel's just like, still like so confused. Like, why is this child like, looking up to me? Why? Just indecipherable words, gesturing at fucking like March and Toby and Prim and Jack and Viva and literally anyone else in the studio.
Like Mariz cares about actors. God, I can imagine like throwback to when they were looking bored. I can imagine like actors walking by, like really famous people that would be recognizable, but Mariz still looks bored.
Yeah. I'll say though, Zelda stick out a third like stick and then look back to the remaining like batch and a dirty 20. He rolls like much quicker than he did his own. He actually rolls like a heart-shaped cotton candy.
Mariz makes a face at him.
And he just like gives an like kind of like sheepish grin and goes, well, I am dating him. He is my boyfriend.
Mariz won't say anything, but there is judgment in their in their eyes. They eat their cotton candy.
Hey, and I think like we can end the FPS on the door like banging open.
Yeah, the door banging open, and there's Toby like, you!
Yep. And Marcel's just holding like a heart-shaped cotton candy.
Oh no, Toby!
For everyone listening, Lewis went, Tobias's clothes and hair completely disheveled, feathers covering his twink ass.
Mariz fucking loses it.
And while Mariz is like laughing themselves sick on the floor, I think Sel just kind of like gives the like again a sheepish kind of loving grin and just holds out the heart-shaped cotton candy like cotton candy. And I think we can end the FPS there.
Oh man. Okay, and stop recording.